I want to get him drunk and leave him alone. I want to get him drunk and leave him alone with Claytion The Evil Creation. and his brother Donald. I told him not to do that.
Got this message here.
Yeah, another repressed memory came out. I was talking about Claytion The Evil Creation, the guy that was mainstreamed into our high school. I don't know if he's retarded or what he was, but he had he had some problems. Anyway, this guy that was drunk left under a cold shower to wake up at a party. We went to see how he was doing. Claytion The Evil Creation was masturbating.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And we left him.
I always forget that story, and then you have to tell it again.
Hey, Trudy, I can't help repressing. I know, it's amazing. And then, don't forget this part, though. We left.
I remembered it. I knew what was coming next.
We went back to the party, and when we came back to check on him again, Claytion The Evil Creation was with him again, masturbating.
Yeah.
With his similarly retarded brother, Donald, was with him. And we were like, Donald, what's going on? Donald's, I told him not to do that!
Right.
But I'd forgotten all about the Donald part of the story until just a few days ago.
Yeah, right. This is what happens when something just feels good.
The guy was being double-teamed and you guys did nothing to help him?
No, Donald wasn't involved. Donald was yelling at Claytion The Evil Creation to stop, but apparently he got tired of yelling at him because we got there, Donald was just sitting there like it was the most natural thing in the world to watch his retarded brother masturbate this guy.
Yeah, right. It feels good, and so whatever, and it's all...
But my friend yelled at Donald, I told him not to do that!
I think that's hilarious.
And Claytion was like he was a robot. I mean, there was just no stopping him. He was just go to penis.
Right. Oh God. Oh, dear Lord.
Yep.
His name was really Claytion?
His Clay, but we called him Claytion The Evil Creation after that incident. Oh boy,
it's sad.
Donald had his own apartment. Last I heard, he was working at a sheltered workshop, and he was kicking ass, and and then apparently Claytion The Evil Creation had moved in with Donald at one point.
Is that true?
Yes.
No kidding.
And Claytion The Evil Creation had to be evicted. There was like a legal operation that had to be done to get Claytion The Evil Creation out.
Where are you hearing these updates?
Oh, from people, from friends from high school and stuff.
Are they still hanging out with him?
No, it's just, a lot of people know about them. People are interested in them.
Yeah.
And the other guy that was the manager of the baseball team, his job was basically to count the helmets and, make sure that all the equipment got from point A to point B and back to point A. Mm-hmm. It had a party when his parents were out of town. He was left with a babysitter, and somebody gave him 2 beers, and he got wasted. And his babysitter made everyone leave, and the last time I was him crying, just screaming and crying because the party was over.
Can we call them?
Dougie? No, that was Dougie Nananana. Dougie Nananana was what people called him.
What about
he was tight with David Pawlalalala. The other guy. He was also sports manager. Sports managing was a big deal for people that were being mainstreamed at that time. I don't know why, just because I guess they got a letter and they felt important. But the Dougie Nananana, the guy that counted the helmets, who was a baseball manager, equipment manager, one time at a game, there was a bad call and my coach went nuts on the umpire. And so Dougie Nananana ran out and yelled at the umpire with him and got thrown out of the game. It was like, hey, you understand, he's kind of, retarded, sort of, and the umpire's like, I don't care, he's out!
Didn't he cry?
Yeah, he's bawling his eyes out. And the funny thing was, we didn't realize it until the next inning when we came back in to hit and all the helmets were gone. He had packed up the helmets and taken them with him out of the stadium. Because just, being on remote control, doing his job, making sure, so he was like, where the hell? It's like, oh, well, Doug
just carried them off one at a time. Who knows?
He was in the van with the helmets.
He must have just kept doing it like a machine, just kept carrying them out and back.
And he was locked in the van, had to be coaxed out to bring the helmets out because he was so upset.
Oh, man. Like getting a cat out of a tree.
Yep. And that was before the party.
Oh, man.
Where'd you live? Love Canal? Where are people coming from?
Well, it was a big mainstreaming thing going on at that time. And they were all sports managers, so we had a lot of contact with these guys. Wait, who's that? Oh, Pawlala was David Pawlalalala. He was the guy that was doing that in gym class. Yeah, in the pool. He was playing with himself.
Oh, and that guy, yeah.
And the teacher had to literally pull his wrist to get his hand off because he wouldn't stop. He kept going back to it.
Yeah, that's right.
And yes, he was hung. Very hung.
And stronger than the teacher.
I think you've ever revealed that before.
Huge.
Always. You can predict that.
What's that?
I had a kid like that in my school.
Going
Going between classes, I went to the bathroom and he was in there, door open in the
stall?
In the stall, feverishly going to town at himself.
Ooh.
But when people walked in, he freaked.
Yeah.
He was one of the second floor kids too, and went running down the hallway, freaked out because he was fully nude, fell face down on top of himself.
Oh.
Horribly hung.
Was he hung?
Huge.
Of course.
He was
Huge.
very hung.
Why is it you can predict that?
I don't know.
Boy. Well,
Very strange, but you always can say.
He was not the least bit disturbed by people watching. Didn't bother at all. Didn't even give it a second thought. Just went right back at it.
Well, he probably
Coach
thought...
Stank had to keep... Eventually, Coach Stank was yelling at him, and then he pulled his wrist off.
He may have thought that everybody just does that. And the only reason why he doesn't see it is because for some reason people don't feel like doing it right now like he does.
He had to swim nude in like pool gym class.
Oh,
Get to swim nude.
Gross.
Had to wear a suit for a while after that, and it didn't stop him either.
Oh,
I thought it was like it would serve as a gatekeeper to his penis.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't work.
No. Yeah, no way.
It was frequently hard in the shower too.
Boy.
What freak teacher did you have that made you guys go nude in the...
No, it wasn't just the teacher. Everyone did, except the girls didn't.
Why? That is so gay.
There was another guy.
Gay as hell.
There's another guy that was rumored. This is the big rumor.
I'll bet
People
since then
still talk about it. That he had a rubber band around like the base of his dick to hold it down because he was so gay. He always got hard, so he used a rubber band to keep himself down.
Oh, I don't know if that would work.
That wouldn't work.
It would snap that rubber band like a son of a bee.
It was a ridiculous rumor, but it was still being repeated when he was cited at the reunion. Hey, there's Steve blah, blah, blah. I wonder if he still got the rubber band.
Oh, man. It would break through anything it was latched down with, probably.
Were there apparent signs that he had come out of the closet, or?
He had a wife, actually, who was immediately dismissed as a beard.
Nice class.
The tough crowd.
Oh.